I like you, Claude. I like you.
Yeah, so Claude was
And-
like a James Potter Patronus, but in a Hufflepuff class.
That would be funny if I knew who that
Just a bit.
So the summer is coming to a close. School is about to start back up. I haven't missed 4 months of episodes. Hey, everybody. You're listening to Just a Bit Gaming. I'm your host, Ryan Chumpy Crash Reynolds. And here's your other guy, Adrian Bertazoid Townsend.
Whoop.
And this is still where your dreams go to die.
It's not, but okay.
You know, on the way over, I was like, I think I'm just going to say that. I don't have anything else to say to open the episode.
That's your fallback?
I could, yeah. That's what I came up with on my way over. And I could still, on the way, like whenever I thought it through in the car, I was like, I can hear Adrian saying, no, it's not.
I didn't let you down, did I?
You did not let me down.
That's funny.
So, this is called a podcast that you do?
Yeah. So we have this microphone set up. We also have a camera.
Right.
There.
Oh, okay.
You and I are going to have like a casual conversation.
Okay.
And we're going to speak into this microphone. And I'm going to take the video and the audio, put it together, and I'm going to post it online for other people to see and hear.
Oh, shit. So like space tech.
Yeah.
Like an alien would do.
Satellites and the TVs and
I used to do
radios.
something similar to this.
Okay.
And we talked about video games and craft beer most of the time.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like that.
Is it similar to that?
That's this show.
Oh,
That's
okay.
This show. Yeah.
All right.
Where you been, Ryan?
Man, just Yukon. Mostly.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So for anybody who's been keeping tabs at all, which I know a few of you have, because I mean, we have several listeners that come through my job and ask regularly where we've been, you know?
Yeah.
Where I've been, where you've been, where the show has been.
Right.
The show itself as an entity went to the Florida Keys for a while.
It did
to
for
unwind.
almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. Our logo.
Not the Keys though. We were on the Gulf Coast.
You were on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah. Or Orlando. We went to Orlando too.
I was just referring to the logo. Went to catch some rays.
Oh yeah.
Had to bounce out for a minute. Mad Daddy Gracchus went on a South African music tour. Small venues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to play his one jazz hit.
What was the jazz hit?
The blues hit, actually. Our theme song.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I mean, great.
From what he's told you, apparently.
Which isn't much. He's a man of few words. Mostly just a bit.
Mumbling.
Yeah.
Mumbling.
Real mumbler. But it's just because he's a jive turkey. So anyway, I've been working a lot. The inspection business kind of started to pick up a bit. So when I wasn't managing the diner, I been doing some inspections and
home inspections. That's cool.
Yeah. So basically, you got your house sold and you moved into this place.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I don't have time to do a fucking podcast. And I was like, all right, whatever, Adrian. And I moved on my way. And then he was like, hey, let's do a podcast. But then I sold my house and was moving, which made me a hypocrite mostly. And so that's just it. Just been moving and unpacking boxes and then going to work and then unpacking more boxes and then having dreams about my teeth falling out.
Weird.
Yeah, man. I read that it means that
too much stress.
It's like stress, and I feel like I'm lacking control in certain aspects of my life.
Yeah.
But when you're spending all day every day unpacking boxes you don't necessarily remember packing, it's a wonder your real teeth don't fall out.
I will say moving is one of the biggest things to make you feel completely and utterly out of control.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, there's nothing within your hands.
Absolutely for the birds.
You're right.
Next time I move, it will be whenever I have $1 million.
You can
pay with cash. I'll pay somebody else to dream about their fucking teeth falling out of their heads. I'm not about it.
I'm not either, dude.
No.
It's funny you say that because that is the same impression that Amy and I had after we moved. It's like I don't want to do this again. I am not gonna do this again unless absolutely necessary. This sucks.
Yeah, when we moved into our new place, we were calling it kind of like a 5-year plan. Like we'll do this place for 5 years, save money,
Mm-hmm.
get prepared for, hopefully building a place,
Right.
And we're like 2 weeks in, and I'm already looking at Shelby like, I mean, how much difference is there in 5 years and
Yeah.
forever, really? Because I have no interest in packing it. I mean, I know what, like, maybe in 5 years I'll feel different, but right now I've still got boxes to go home to,
Right.
Because we can't, like, my kids are 2 and 4.
Right. So you
Like
have to,
we got to let them play and live, and so we're living amongst like packing mess and unpacking and boxes and all that, and then like the mess of actually living,
right.
So it is exhausting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how did your closing process and all that go? Was it pretty smooth?
Fuck no.
No, it never is.
No. You know what though? You say it never is. The people we sold our house to, we made everything so easy for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we did too.
they hit us whenever they made an offer. We, countered with a fair price
Right.
and agreed, split it in the middle, made everything real easy, signed everything on time, got everything cleaned out. We deep cleaned the house
Mm-hmm.
and did all the yard work before we left. Like the place was so pretty
Yeah.
when we left. And then the one we were moving into, it was like walking into a booger,
Was
It
a
was
lot of
just
stuff left behind and nothing was cleaned?
Dude, here's a crazy one. About 3 days into living there,
Uh-huh.
one of the vents, like we were looking for the storage unit keys, and there's a vent on my side of the room. So Shelby grabbed a flashlight and went to look inside this vent to see maybe if I had dropped the storage unit key out of my pocket
Right.
in there. And she pulled out stuff down in the vent was like a cutoff t-shirt, like a cutoff tank top, like a Budweiser t-shirt, a Carhartt ball cap, a half-empty water bottle, and a stick of chapstick.
This sounds so Oklahoma, dude. You just nailed.
Shoved down in the fucking
Yeah.
vent. She was like, why would this be in the... You know what? The only reason I think it was in the vent?
Murder? Was there
No.
blood on it?
No, I think Lil Mama that was living there had a side piece
Oh.
that left his shit behind before Daddy got home.
You could be right, dude. That is an odd.
She
choice
thought
of
his
things.
tractor was sexy.
And every time he left another piece of clothing.
Right. So she was just compiling a little shadow gallery of his naughties down there.
That's funny. Did you go check the rest of them?
I've checked all the vents in the house at this point.
Yeah.
I found assorted keys. A lighter, like a Bic lighter. And a clip off of like a knife or a pen or something.
Why would you put a lighter up on the vent?
Who knows? Because the thing is, those vents, you're not going to drop a lighter in there. Someone put a lighter inside
Right.
that vent. And then in top of one of the closets, I found like a horsehair cowboy belt with like
That's not bad.
with like some big silver stud crosses and shit on it. And it had some weird sticky moldy stuff all over it.
That still sounds like something you would wear.
If I cleaned off the mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funky,
Yeah.
And then in the hallway, we have one of those things like for the laundry where it looks like a door, but you pull it and it like tilts out.
Yeah.
And you can throw your laundry down inside. And I
Shoot?
pulled. Yeah, but it doesn't shoot to anywhere. It's just
stays
like a
there.
laundry bin
Yeah.
hidden in the wall. And I pulled that out to see what was under it. And I found a case of like copper BBs and a case of CO2 cartridges for a BB gun and a tube sock that could stand up on its own.
Oh, did you touch it? You put on rubber gloves first, right?
No, but I did cut my own hand off. I cut it off.
Okay.
Cut
yeah.
my own hand off. I had a hard time
That's-
spitting that phrase out. Cut my hand off.
That's the best way to avoid germs. Just cut it off.
It is, yeah. And now without a hand, I will never again have a tube sock that can stand up on its own. So, what else have I found in that house? We found a plastic, like a water bottle full of dip spit
Gross.
in one of
man.
the cabinets.
These sound like you straight up Okies staying
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
man.
We cleaned up an entire dog worth of hair in the house. Actually, as a matter of fact, 2 hours into living there, Shelby comes out to the garage where we're moving boxes, and she goes, "Okay, I'm not sleeping here tonight." And I said, "It's our first night here." She said, "I'm not sleeping here." And I said, "Why?" And she goes, "Go to the bathroom." So I go to the main bathroom, like in the hallway, and the toilet was overflowed. And then whenever I tried to plunger the toilet, a bunch of brown backed up into the bathtub.
No.
It ended up not being poo poo. It was like dirt and sediment.
That's not good.
It was crazy. And so we had a friend of mine, James, who listens to the show. Shout out, James. Thanks a heap again. Hope you and yours are well. He came out and snaked everything for us. And it was just like a mass of like lint and dog hair and dirt. And like, cause he like the guy who lived there before, like the husband was like an oil field guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's a dirty boy.
Yeah.
And then they had big dogs that there were like these mitts under the sink that they left behind. They were like had little nubs on the palms. So whenever you're washing your dogs, it like pulls all the excess fur off of them. So I guess they've just been disposing of this shit down the drain.
Oh, man.
So we got to a level where everything works now. So we could, and everything was clean. And so it took us about a week to get to a level where we were comfortable even unpacking our shit.
Man, that sucks.
Because these people left it a mess.
Did you get any kind of deal on the house or anything, or?
No, we paid more than we should.
Wow, that's incredible, man.
And
that's incredible.
Like,
it makes you think next time I buy a house, I need to put on the offer that, or whatever, the contract that the house needs to be clean before I move into it.
You would think it would be common sense to clean a house before you leave it, right?
Exactly. That's the way I was
like
thinking.
Someone's buying this for me. Like if I was selling my Jeep and someone was like, "Hey, I want to buy that from you," I'm not going to be like, "Here you go. Be sure to fucking clean it out when you get a home." You're going to clean it out first.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to my realtor when we bought this house, and he was stressing to me how I needed to clean the house up before we leave. And I was like, I am, stop. I'm going to clean this house. It's not, because he brought it up on multiple occasions as if I wasn't going to do it. And I was like, I don't understand why you keep bringing this up to me. Of course I'm going to clean the house. It's common knowledge. You don't sell something dirty. We hired people to come in and clean the house, and twice. And he said, you would be surprised how often people don't. And I guess the buyer of the old house was wanting a clean house. And she was telling that to
I would have loved a clean house. So we've just been cleaning house for 2 weeks, really, trying to get moved in. There was a massacre of dog poop in the backyard.
Gross, man.
Just the whole yard.
You're making this sound like a real nightmare. Is it as bad as it sounds?
Well, I mean, you got to put it into perspective. It's a good house, and we like being there. Now that it's clean, we're really starting to like it. We're really enjoying it. But to be unpacking your moving van that like 2 hours after you got your keys and have your toilet and shower back up because they hid something from you during the buying process.
Yeah.
And then we're having to bleach and vacuum and steam clean everything because it was left such a mess. Really I'm not even exaggerating, actually. It actually was that bad.
That sucks, dude.
The house was clean when we looked at it and put in an offer,
right.
At least viably clean,
right.
Arguably.
How did the plumbing issue get missed by inspection?
I was the inspector too.
You were the inspector of your own house?
I ran the inspection in tandem with my buddy Rick, who's the one who's been teaching me for the past couple of years.
Right.
Have you met Rick?
No.
Okay. You need to meet Rick. He's a good guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's a little surly, and that's what I like about him.
Well, I didn't know that would be
it's one of those things like whenever you're doing an inspection, you go flush the toilet, make sure the toilet works.
Yeah.
You run the bath, make sure it works, make sure it drains. But, by the time we had gotten there and we were unloading everything, I mean, we had 10 people there. Everyone had used the toilet. Mm-hmm. Everyone had washed their hands. And so the toilet had been flushed 10 times and the sink had been used 10 times.
So it may have been temporarily covered up, but brought back to fruition.
We didn't do enough of you don't have time during an inspection
Right,
to like
right.
run it long enough. You're not going to flush a toilet 10 times to see if it backs up,
Yeah.
you know? And so technically we submitted our invoice for the plumbing to the sellers because that counts as non-disclosure. They knew something was wrong.
Oh, really?
They
did that go through all right?
We're waiting for their agent to get back in town.
If that doesn't go through, did you purchase a home warranty?
Yeah.
You could probably take care of it through that. Maybe. I know it just usually only covers appliances and things like that, but I think it should cover something like that. I don't know.
You
for
would
sure.
think so.
Yeah. But man, we should just change this podcast to home buying and selling.
We should.
I feel like an expert at this point, and you sound to be like one too.
Yeah, and we can give repair tips.
Yeah.
I can give inspection tips.
There you go.
know?
Yeah.
Let's just turn it into a homeowner's podcast.
It's so funny because I feel like I've learned a ton throughout this process that I did not know about.
Yeah.
When we bought our first house, we didn't have to sell a house before we bought it. We just, it was our first home. So the troubles of going through having to sell a house is equally as frustrating as buying a house and going through the pro closing and all the stuff that you had to go through. I mean, like I was saying, it's like 10 years of living in a place and, not keeping up with every little thing you should have keep up with creates a lot of work when it comes time to sell.
Yeah. So let's just change it. Welcome to Just a Bit Housing, opening the door to all of your real estate conundrums.
That's right, man. I could totally do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think my voice got friendlier when I said it too.
Does it make you excited to talk houses?
It really does. I love it.
Yeah.
That's why I started an inspection business. I love that stuff.
It is cool. And
Yeah.
you get to be in it all the time now. So
yeah,
without the frustration of dealing with selling and buying and not knowing when an offer is being made or when somebody's not signing paperwork or
I know they
when the
call
closing
me to
date is going to be.
nose around and tell them what needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And then they pay me.
Do they?
That's the best part.
That's
you do it, you get to be nosy.
Yeah.
And then you get paid.
You get to be the bad guy too in some instances.
Every now and again.
Yeah.
And believe you me, I am aggressively mediocre at being a bad guy.
Well, I can see it. I can see it. Man, have you played any video games? Have you managed to find any time to play video games in that time?
Surprisingly, yes.
That's good.
I
yeah.
hope the microphone can't hear me crunching.
I can.
I picked up a little Breath of the Wild again, just casually. We don't really need.
That's your go-to game. It's kind of like your new Skyrim.
Like, yeah, if I've got some time and I'm like, I want to play, but I don't know what, I'll just casually sit down and
that game is good for that.
Muck about on Breath of the Wild for any amount of time.
Right.
Yeah. Malone and I are always still playing a lot of Smash. That's his go-to. He always wants to play Smash.
How do you feel about the new characters, or do you?
I don't have any of the new characters yet.
The new characters, the hero from Dragon Quest is the latest release. He came out last week. Yeah, he's cool. That character is really cool because it's not just one character; it's 4 different characters.
That's awesome.
So you know what? When you do your character select and you can change your skin or whatever, well, you have 2 color variants for each character. You got a character from Dragon Quest 11, one from 8, one from 4 or 5, I want to say, and then one from the first.
There's a few characters that way, like Koopa Jr., Baby Koopa, whatever.
And he turns into.
He's got different versions, or like the Animal Crossing, Isabella, or the Inklings.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
You got a handful of them on there that
I think this one is
switch gears like that.
Because I don't think any of them has 4 characters though. 4 distinctly different looking characters.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoy playing with him too. He's another sword based fighter, which is.
Oh, Malone's gonna love that. He loves the sword based fighters.
You might like the previous one that was released, the Persona character.
Yeah. What's that? Joker. He's from Persona 5, and he's cool. He shoots a gun, and he can do some really cool kind of acrobatic moves. He reminds me of Zero Suit Samus or something like that, or Sheik. We just got Wi-Fi in the house like 3 days ago.
Did you?
So
you might look into
it. I gotta do some catch up.
I would recommend purchasing the pass. I think it's $25, but you get the characters that have been released already. Plus, there's 3 more coming, including Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh shit!
Yep.
You see that one? I'll
That
play
might-
Banjo-Kazooie.
That one is, I believe, the next one to be released.
That makes it
in the
worth it for
fall.
me.
Yeah, I thought that was
me
cool,
some
man.
Banjo-Kazooie. You think they'll ever remake Banjo-Kazooie?
I think it's due for a comeback.
What was the name of that one? Like,
Nuts and Bolts?
no, they did one a few years ago with like a little lizard.
Oh, Ukulele.
Ukulele.
I've never played that.
Me neither, but it was pretty much the same shit, right?
Yeah, I was never big into Banjo and Kazooie though.
Banjo-Kazooie was awesome.
It was okay. The only reason I never played it is because I didn't have an N64 and my buddy who did not own that game.
Oh, because you're just a salty chump then.
I was.
It's not that Banjo-Kazooie wasn't awesome, it's that you weren't awesome.
I never gave it proper chance, and then whenever I did later on, I couldn't get into it. But when they re-released it on Rare Replay for the Xbox, I started playing it again and was enjoying my time with it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I loved that shit.
It's a collectathon, and I don't particularly love collectathons.
Those are my favorite types of games
Yeah.
back then. You know, adventure style, just collect your shit, beat up some bad guys, progress the story. It was all straightforward, you know?
Like Spyro.
The classic 3D platformer.
Right.
That's all it was.
The death or the dying dead. I don't know, what do you want to say?
I don't know, had a brief renaissance, last year?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Spyro and Crash making re-releases, it's trying to come back, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say Ukulele probably sparked that, but yeah, it's cool. I'm curious to see how they handle Ukulele and not Ukulele, Banjo-Kazooie and Smash. I think it'd be pretty cool to have the Kazooie go, you know, he pops over his head,
absolutely.
and hits him with
Or
a
like
regular
the
attack.
ground smash.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good shit.
it is a cool game. I'm excited for that. But the I cut you off with talking about Smash. What else had you been playing?
Dauntless on PS4.
I remember you asked me about this. I have never heard of this.
It's a weird game. It's a free to play.
Yeah.
I had some buddies that were playing it and talking about it a bit, and it's like the most basic facsimile of a game like World of Warcraft or like, you know, your MMORPG type thing.
Okay.
Like you don't even start with classes necessarily. You have a moderately customizable character. You can choose male or female and then customize their face, hair, war paint, shit like that. Everybody starts with the same recruit armor, but you've got like 5 different like weapons that you start out with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a hammer, an axe, like 2 scythes, a spear or a pike.
Is this a fantasy style? Okay.
Very fantasy.
Japanese style or
Well, it's
more Western?
funny. It's kind of like a conglomeration of like Western, Japanese, you know, like European, medieval. Like there's all these, and then there's like space and flight, but also like prehistoric, like all these different fantasy elements conglomerating into this. And like last month when I started playing it, like the theme of the month was ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
And you could like unlock like ninja weapons and ninja garb and shit like that. But now this month the theme is, I think, pirates. You know, so they're
gonna hit every generic.
Yeah, and it's just like you go in, you get dropped into this game as a rookie status, and then you've got your hub world where you can go purchase shit or craft weapons and armor, and you can mix and match, but you can only like. You, from the beginning, can choose any of the weapons that are available, like the rookie level weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have to choose a class or anything. And like, you can go fight this behemoth on this mission with your sword. And then you can fight the next one with your dual scythes, you know?
Right.
You don't have to stick to any particular style. And they all have their own perks and bonuses.
Level system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically you just go, it's practically a farming simulator, honestly. Like you go beat a behemoth that has certain elemental powers. You collect bits and pieces and perks and shit off of this behemoth. You go back to your hub world, craft or upgrade your weapons and armor based on the elemental behemoth that you just took out.
You're right.
And
I'm getting really strong Monster Hunter vibes from this description.
yeah. And
or
so
any
it's just,
MMO for that.
it's really just back of like, it was a PC game that was seeing some moderate success. So they've released this basic version of it as a free to play on console. I guess kind of as like a market test, because all it is hub world mission, hub world mission.
So there's no open world to explore.
No open world to explore outside of the hub community.
Right. That sounds even more so like Monster Hunter then.
And you go choose your mission, what kind of elemental behemoth you're going to go fight, and then it drops you out in a world, a good sized world where you can roam within that mission, but you only have 29 minutes before your ship runs out of fuel and you have to forfeit the mission and go back to the hub world. And so you can go out there and you can pick, weird flowers and herbs and shit, or
that is Monster
pick
Hunter.
up power,
You were describing
power
Monster
ups and
Hunter.
shit.
Exactly.
And then you go beat your behemoth, and then as soon as you beat it, you get transported back to the hub.
Right. Do you harvest things from the behemoth?
Yeah, like you cut off their tail and you get scales from it, or you get a bonus for damaging each of their limbs.
Okay.
I mean, they jacked Monster Hunter steez for sure, but it's in kind of like a visual style similar to World of Warcraft.
Okay.
I mean, and it's fun enough as far as like just grinding it out for the sake of building the same shit that everybody has. If you want something different,
you got to pay for it.
You got to buy it with real world money. So we've been playing with that a little bit. It's kind of a nice intro from Malone to that style of gaming. See if he's into it. But then
I tend to steer away from free to play games. In fact, I don't really even give them a chance. I don't even look at them just because I know what I'm in for.
If there's a free to play game that's suddenly popular, I'll download it and try it.
There is one that I heard about recently on the Switch called Paladins. Have you heard of this one?
I played Paladins on PlayStation.
Did you? Well, they have it on the Switch.
I have it on Switch.
I went ahead and downloaded it because I saw my brother actually was playing it. And so I downloaded it and started playing it. It is almost exactly like Overwatch. So it's like a complete ripoff of Overwatch.
And it honestly, it plays just about as smooth as Overwatch. It plays
well. I mean, I was playing it in handheld mode. I've said this before on the Wolfenstein episode, but playing first-person shooters on the Switch in handheld mode is not easy to do. It doesn't lend itself well. Yeah, it's hard to do that. So playing a game like this on the Switch is same. I didn't get it. I didn't feel like it was any easier, but I did see some potential for the game. I thought it was fun what I did.
I mean, it is fun.
Yeah.
The irony of you saying that you're playing Paladins right now is that one of the games I've revisited and have been playing a lot of, like what I've been playing the most of right now, is Overwatch.
Oh, yeah? Is the new character out
I'm
yet?
back on that bullshit. Oh, who's the new character?
He's the barefoot guy. He's bald. Or no, he's not bald. I don't remember his name.
Like barefoot, like no shoes, or
No
he has
shoes.
the legs of a bear?
No, he has no shoes.
Okay. I wouldn't fucking be surprised if you're like, oh yeah, we've got this new guy in Overwatch.
He's got feet like bears.
Yeah. If you go to the winter levels, his legs are asleep.
I wouldn't put it past them. They've got a gorilla for a character.
Well, yeah, they've got one called. Have you played with Wrecking Ball?
No.
It's a giant fucking hamster.
Oh yeah.
In like a Wrecking Ball robot.
Yeah.
That's a fun character to play.
I haven't played this game in a long time, apparently, because I do remember that character being announced, but I've never tried him.
There's a bunch of new characters on there, but I don't know who the newest one is. Like, I just know that I booted it up. Malone discovered it. He found the disc and wanted to play it. He'd been wanting to play it for a long time.
Right.
But I knew that it would have to update, so I never got around to it. That's what always happens. Like, every 6 months, I decide I want to play Overwatch, and then it has like 4 hours of updates, and then I never end up playing it.
And then you lose interest and never
I played it hard for like the month it came out.
Yeah.
And then put it away because something else came out. That might have been when Horizon came out.
Okay.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah. And I shelved it, and then I ran some updates about a year ago, and then never actually played it, and then ran updates a couple of days ago. Like 3 days ago. Like the day we got internet. Ran updates on it, and so Malone and I have been playing it, and we're having a good time with it. I actually forgot that I'm halfway decent at it.
Yeah.
I played the best match I've ever played on it yesterday.
After not playing it for years?
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah, I had never
I don't even think I can remember how to play it.
It came back quickly.
Yeah.
It's such a basic shooter control scheme.
It is, but like using your special powers and stuff and what they do.
It has it at the bottom of the screen. Like whenever you have it available, it shows you what button to push to use your special attacks and shit.
True. But then I don't remember what
and shit.
I guess, yeah, I don't remember what they all do. I think I would with some of my main characters, but
I remembered exactly how to play with Junkrat because he was always my main.
Okay.
I had never played with Bastion before, and Malone wanted me to try him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who I had my best match with.
Bastion's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man.
he's a cool character, and
if you can get a good spot and go into turret mode.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly. I had a 9-kill streak and no deaths in a match.
Nice.
Got play of the game.
Nice.
Got some trophies and a badge out of it. Some friend requests, which made me feel really popular. So I mean, I've been playing like for as busy as I've been the past couple of weeks moving into the house. I've actually been playing games again.
Well,
so
it's good that you are, because it's good to kind of take your mind out of it, even if it's just for a brief minute.
Shit, man. And I've just been going to standbys. I thought last week I was shopping around to buy something new, and just haven't. I don't know what to buy. You know.
At this point,
you know exactly my relationship with trying to pick out a new game.
Yeah. I don't know that there's anything really for your gameplay style that's new. Maybe some older games, but nothing. No,
really new. I know. You know, I got Overwatch with Malone on PlayStation right now, and Paladins and DC Universe on Switch. Did you know they released DC Universe Online?
I thought the game was dead. I can't believe that the game is still
I'm going to give it a go on Switch.
That game is what? At least 10 years old by now.
Oh, at least, because it was a PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah.
An early PS3 game.
Yeah. I remember...
Well, maybe mid-date.
I played it a little bit, and I remember enjoying my time to a certain extent. You know, with any MMO, I get to a point where I've had my fill, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing.
You know?
Yeah. It's
like, DC Universe is one of those games where you get playing it, and you're having fun. Fuck this.
I'm done.
You know, like there's no like cooldown period. Like you're going until you just never turn it on again.
You know, you're right. I'm not even going to argue with that on that, because
it doesn't.
That happened with me.
Yeah, it doesn't fade away.
I can even remember exactly where I stopped playing. Like I remember playing against a boss, but I don't remember who the boss was. And then I remember right after that going to a relatively new area, and then just being like, okay, I'm done. I've defeated the boss.
That was that. It was probably Brainiac.
Is that towards the beginning?
Yeah, with the spaceships and all that.
Yes.
That's exactly where I stopped playing.
So the devs need to. Well, I guess it's too late at this point. Address that situation.
They're just trying to breathe some new life into it, but it stayed popular.
Huh? That's interesting. I had no idea.
I still know people that is what they play.
I know, though, with those MMOs, when you find, for the people that like them, when you find that one that you just love, you stick with it for years.
Yeah.
I have a friend, actually a couple friends, who are still playing World of Warcraft, and they started playing back when the game came out.
I didn't know World of Warcraft wasn't dead.
Oh, dude, I don't think that game is ever going to die at this rate. They keep releasing expansions for it, and as long as they keep updating the visuals and, you know, keep it fresh, people are going to continue to want to play.
I'd like to see a side-by-side of when it was launched versus now.
You can do it because they just I don't know if it's out yet, but it's coming out very soon. WoW Classic. What it is they're releasing vanilla WoW. And so it's like
is it gonna have the updates, original graphics and everything?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. Why? Why though?
It doesn't make sense to me either. But a lot of people are excited.
Maybe those people that are still playing it will get a kick out of it.
Yeah, it'll
be like a collector thing. It's
strictly for nostalgia, because the game is 15 years old now. So a lot of people who are still playing or maybe haven't played it since, it's kind of cool to go back and see what it used to be compared to what it is now. Because the game has changed pretty significantly in a lot of areas. You know, like there's a lot of user ease that has been implemented into the game since its release.
I remember making fun of Chase so much for playing that game. So much.
You're one of those guys, man. My wife was you.
Yeah, I called it Wowhammer because he was also playing a game called Warhammer at the time.
Oh yeah. I could see the confusion there.
Yeah, it wasn't confusion. It was me being an asshole. He was playing World of Wowhammer, and then I remember being at the house by myself and getting curious enough to start a character.
Yeah.
But I had made so much fun of him that for months I played it in secret when I was at home alone.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you hide your character from him?
I just told him that I had made a character, so he never logged into my account or anything. He just knew that there was a character there that I had made.
Mm.
I finally came clean whenever I needed to admit that I was enjoying it because I was like thirsting to play it. It was good. It was fun. But once I kind of got my fill, just like DC Universe, it was just over.
I played that game pretty heavy for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then it was just all of a sudden something clicked. Like you said, it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I have nothing more to do with this game.
That's that.
I just got sick of doing the same kind of mundane tasks all the time. New setting, new monsters, same types of things.
Yeah, go find this, and this.
Yeah.
Give it to such and such who's going to give you an apple pie.
And I think I know where I went wrong, though. A lot of people say that the in-game WoW is the best WoW because you're doing a lot of raids and stuff, and I never did that. And the only reason I didn't do it, though, is because I tried, but it was to form a group takes so long. You got to search for people to join your group, and then everybody's got to fulfill a certain role. So it never really works very well with randoms. You almost have to put together a group of people that are going to do it. And I just never
They have to be committed with you.
Yeah, right. And I never had the time to commit to that. So I was kind of done. But my buddy who was playing with me at the time, I actually introduced him to the game, and he got pissed off at me because I stopped playing it. He's like, "You showed me this game and now you're not even going to play it with me?" I was like, "Dude, I've had my fill, you know?
I'm sorry.
I'm done." Well, he still plays it to this day. So,
the last game that I just got my fill of and was done, just like seriously, like finished a match one day and was like, okay.
yeah.
And got rid of it was PUBG Mobile.
Oh, really?
Do you remember how into that I was?
Yeah, dude. I've had my fill of that game probably a year ago.
Yeah, of PUBG in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing, I was top of my game though. Like, I was winning the team I was with, the Slay Queens.
Right.
We were winning every single match we were playing.
Yeah.
And one night we played a match and everybody signed off and I just deleted the app. I was just, after that match, I was just done.
Was it an uneventful match?
No, it was a fine. I mean, we won. And it was like every other night, like, all right, guys, see you tomorrow at work, you know?
You just
And I
decided
was just like,
was it?
It was over and I just deleted it off my phone. That was it. I think what did it for me was that the simplicity of it had kind of worn away. Like, they kept building and building and building all like the shit you needed to unlock. They were trying to compete with Fortnite is what it was, you know? And changing the maps and shit was getting more outlandish and more expensive in game and out of game. Like, you had to buy actual shit and microtransactions.
That makes sense then. That would be a good enough reason for me to be done.
The like arena combat, like the perks you would get from it had timers on a lot of them. So I could win like 9 matches in a row and get a cool helmet that gave me a certain like protection buff or something. But then I'd only have 48 hours to use it before the game took it away. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it was just, it got weird.
That's garbage, man.
And
that's why I don't love
the ranking system got super convoluted. Like, you had to like progress through this like tabletop that had medals on a map. It was bizarre. And you couldn't just jump into a match and play and get recognized on the leaderboard for winning. You had to, it was all this extra shit that didn't need to be there and didn't make sense. And so it was taking up a bunch of memory on my phone. And the next day the guys were like, all right, tonight we're going to play. And I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore.
Did you make any enemies that day?
No, they all agreed and stopped playing as well.
Well, it's good that you all mutually agreed on this.
Slay Queens.
You're going to have to build them back up someday.
One of these days, maybe in another game. What
I was going to say when you were looking for something new to play, I think you should hold out for Borderlands 3.
Oh shit, that's coming up.
Yeah.
When? Isn't that like September 29th?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm already planning to buy 2 copies for Amy and I to play together.
What system?
You got to get on PlayStation.
It's PlayStation exclusive, right?
I think it's on Xbox as well. Pretty sure it is.
Was Borderlands ever PlayStation exclusive? Or was it?
No, because I played it on Xbox.
Do you think they'll make them cross-compatible with this game?
No, because...
At least not right out of the gate, but do you think they ever will?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think it's on the developer's end. It's on the publisher's, or not the publisher, the the platform in, like Sony or Microsoft. Sony's playing hardball on that right now.
Yeah, I know.
So they're still playing hardball. So I doubt it.
So you guys are gonna play it on PlayStation?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Because we have 2 PlayStations. Because she plays on one and I play the other. But we've been playing Destiny 2, and I'm enjoying playing these co-op multiplayer or first-person shooters with her. That's the type of game she enjoys to play. So Borderlands, I haven't really been that excited for it, but now that I know that she's in and wanting to play with me, I think I'm getting more hyped up for it.
Yeah.
And if you jump in, that would make it even better.
Borderlands is a release day purchase for me.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know you had a history with the game.
I have played every installment of Borderlands.
And you loved it, apparently. Did you play it co-op or did you play it by yourself?
Both ways.
Okay.
The first Borderlands, I've beaten the story mode probably 4 times over the years. Borderlands 2 was good. That was pre-sequel, right?
Borderlands 2 was
there's Borderlands 2, and then the pre-sequel. Pre-sequel was lacking.
I never played it.
I didn't play all the way through it. I played it because I bought the whole collection a couple of years ago on PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
And so
so you have that as well.
I have all of them.
We were talking about playing through the pre-sequel because I'd never played it.
Let's just play through 1 or 2 instead.
Well, 1 is been re-released. That collection you're talking about is just Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel.
The Handsome Jack collection.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Borderlands 1, I think, just made a re-release as well.
I don't know. We could play through the pre-sequel if you wanted to. I played through like half of it. I mean, it was fun enough. It didn't have the same, like, something was missing. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but something was missing.
I've played, since it became free on PS Plus like a month or 2 ago, I started playing through it a little bit, and I was pretty into what I was playing, to be honest with you.
That one I never played co-op, though. I was only playing that one by myself, so I didn't have the same attachment to it.
I think we ought to, maybe we could start with Borderlands 2 and then jump to the pre-sequel. I'd be fine with that. But
this will be a Borderlands 3 watch.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll play through the others leading up to it.
Borderlands 2 was one that I played to death when it came out, though.
Same.
So it might be a little bit cool to go back to it, but I pretty much remember most of that game. I mean, it wouldn't feel fresh and new, and that's kind of what I like. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards the pre-sequel myself.
See, I played a lot of Borderlands with Christopher Pistons McCoy.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, he lived with Shelby and I when we were first married. He was one of my college buddies. He was the drummer when I was still playing in Little Miss Moxie.
Yeah, sounds like a
when I was so punk rock
band name.
Yeah, and Jason Wallace, Dustin Patterson, otherwise known as Admiral Dammit. Yeah, cool. that was my Borderlands crew mostly.
We need to do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm excited. I want to play Borderlands 3, and if we can get a full crew of people going, I think we'll have a good time with it. JJ, you're in.
Yes.
JJ put out a video the other day talking about his kind of love-hate relationship with Borderlands, and his main complaint was that he likes to listen to the story and follow the story, but when you play online in co-op mode, you can't really focus on the story very well because everybody's kind of doing their own thing and talking, and some people are rushing ahead, and so you can't get the full intake of the story. I agree with that, but I never really cared, Right. I learned to get to a point where it's like I'm just more fascinated with the gameplay over the story.
Well, we'll story mode it for JJ.
I think it would be cool. Like he said on his show that he would like to play with a group that would experience the story with him.
That's the episode that he just put out, right?
Yeah. And
good episode, by the way. JJ, way to be.
JJ, you're in if you want to play.
Is it only a 4-person party?
It is, yeah.
All right.
We can have random people jump in, whoever,
Yeah.
That's one of those that
guests.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and play a little bit, you can. You play with somebody, if you're at work or I'm at work or something like that and you want to jump on and play, we can still team up. I don't think level prevents you from matching up with people.
It doesn't prevent you from it. because the first time I jumped in, I didn't own the first one whenever it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my buddies were like 70% through the campaign.
Yeah.
And I jumped in and hadn't played.
Okay.
And then got hooked and had to buy a copy.
Okay. If I remember correctly, all they do is they take the highest level person and downgrade their level. At least
It puts you on a curve, is
Yeah.
all it does. Yeah. Makes the gameplay a bit more matched.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case with the new one, then we
Hell
won't
yeah.
have any issues.
Let's
with
do that.
I'm excited, man.
I
I'm
am
ready
too.
for a good co-op game.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm
been
ready
a
for
while.
something that we can talk about on the show with regularity.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Well, we're 45 minutes in, and I really wanted to talk about Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm gonna go ahead and fill your ears with the Fire Emblem joy.
Dude,
that I've been
spit some hot
experiencing.
Fire Emblem.
What is your familiarity with the series, if any?
It is built around the continuity of the Super Smash Brothers history.
All right,
It's
we're done here.
Yeah.
We're done.
We wouldn't have Super Smash Brothers without the Fire Emblem
That is
characters.
no lie, dude. That is no lie. It is so funny. There's so many Fire Emblem characters in the Smash Brothers series. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Like-
And the main reason why the game is gaining popularity
Because they've
here,
all got swords. Is that
it's really popular in Japan. The series is really popular. It's a long running series spanning from the NES days. So
Okay, all right.
yeah. It's got some pedigree. It just is relatively new in the US market, in the Western market. The first game that was released here was on the Game Boy Advance, to give you an idea of how long it's been. And that game came after Smash Brothers came out. Because remember, was it Marth? He wasn't in the original. He was in Melee. Is that right? Or do you remember?
I don't even, was he in Melee even?
Yeah. I think Melee was his first appearance.
Are
I
you
wanna say.
sure?
No, I'm not sure. But
You don't seem sure.
I'm not. I do know that it was either the GameCube or the N64, but I'm fairly certain it was the GameCube one. But it was Marth and Ike, I believe. And I don't remember. People are gonna call me out, but that's okay. So those two characters came from the games came prior to that. And you looking it up? What you got?
Melee.
Yeah, so yeah, it was Melee. And who was the other?
I think Roy.
Roy? Not Ike?
No, I think because there was the whole Marth versus Roy thing in Melee.
Okay.
I just thought it was. I didn't think it was Melee, but I remember Roy being the one that was released with Marth.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
it's crazy that I grew up on Smash and have had this like this, like I guess. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea. I'm trying
This
to figure it out.
trickling
Here, man.
of Fire Emblem characters exposed to me through
Yeah.
the years of Super Smash Brothers, and I've still never played Fire Emblem.
It's a unique game, and they didn't really make it that accessible, especially when the first game was on the GBA. I had never even heard of the GBA game until years after it was released. But they also had a version on the GameCube. They had it on the Wii. But the first time that I ever really experienced the series and played it proper was on the Nintendo DS with Fire Emblem Awakening. That game was one that I think turned on a lot of people to the series. When it came out, it had a lot of buzz around it. It had updated visuals and had a really good storyline, and you know, it gained a lot of spotlight. So I decided to give it a try. I was looking for something fun to play on my DS anyway. And I loved it. It was an incredible game. Like, the story was awesome. The characters were good, but the gameplay is where it's at. So the gameplay is a tactical style RPG. And for those of you who don't know what that is, basically you imagine a board, like a board game almost, made up of tiles. And your characters can move certain number of spaces on those tiles. So you move to a spot and you want to get in within range of the enemy and you want to try to attack them. So you've got sword users, you've got bow users, magic users, spears, you got people on horses, people on Pegasus, there's like fantasy style creatures in there too. It's kind of cool.
Pegasuses?
I was
Pegasus?
I thought about that a little bit before I said it.
Pegasi.
Let's go with that. No. I like Pegasus. Pegasi sounds dumb.
Pegasus?
Sure, Pegasus. No. I'm sticking with the Pegasus, man.
Pegasuses. Pegasus.
So the Pegasus can fly around and they have a lot more distance they can cover. No. But I enjoyed the strategical style of the game. Every move you make has pretty significant standing within the outcome of the battle, I guess. Like if you are careless with the move that you make, you can lose a character in battle fairly easily. So it's every move requires thought.
Pegasus is a name.
Oh, it is.
Like there's only one Pegasus.
I didn't know that. I thought it was referring to
the breed is a winged horse.
The more you know. I had never known that. I thought that was the name.
Can you put a shooting star with like the more you know across the green screen?
I could. Yeah.
This is about where Spyro would be.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. So it'd be winged horses.
The winged horses are cool. And you have dragons too. Like you have characters who ride on
Dragon
dragons.
is a name.
No. Dragon is a dragon. Can't get me with that one. But it's cool because if you make the wrong decision, you can very easily lose a character. And the way the games used to be played is if a character dies in battle, they're dead. They don't come back. So if you want that character back, would either have to reload a save and try again, or just continue the game without that character. Luckily in Fire Emblem Awakening, I think that's the first game where they got rid of that feature. So I would choose my characters, and I mean you had the option to play it that way if you want to, but I didn't want to go through all that. Some people are really kind of hardcore with the game and really love that, but no, I'm good. But so after playing that, they had another release on the 3DS called actually Awakening was on the 3DS. Yeah. I said it was on the DS. Conquest and the Birthright series.
Have you played all of these?
I barely played Birthright. I played Awakening pretty extensively. I never beat it, but I got good ways into it. Birthright though, I barely touched it. And then they also had another one coming out on the 3DS, which is a remake of Fire Emblem 2, I think. I have that one as well, but I barely touched that one. So this new Fire Emblem Three Houses just came out on the Switch. And there's been a lot of buzz around it for, what it was trying to achieve with character development and storytelling. And to me, that's huge. That's what I really love about those games. So I was excited to pick it up, and I did. I went and got the special edition of the game and started playing it. And dude, it's really, really good. It's like they took everything that was great about the other games and just made it better. And which is what you should do with a sequel. But you'd be surprised a lot of people don't do that.
How often the studios go, that was a really good game.
Scrap it.
Let's make a sequel. But instead of making it better, let's make it shit.
Yeah. We got to get this out, man.
Yeah.
Got to make that money.
Got to stack this that game, cheddar.
This game has so much love to put into it, and it shows. It shines through.
So for somebody who hasn't played the Fire Emblem series, where to start?
I would say with this one. Absolutely with this one. I'd say play this one. If you like it, go back to the older ones. This game is so good, man. It is. So usually those games would be mostly battle-based, and then they would tell story and cutscenes and dialogue in between battles.
Yeah.
That's typical for a strategy RPG like this one is. Well, Three Houses goes a step further in immersion by making it to where you're not just going to battles. I'd say the majority of the game that I played up to this point has been me in the monastery. So at the beginning of the game, you go into battle with the three houses, like a representative from each of the three houses within this monastery. It's like a school. And then after the battle, you get to know these other three characters and you get to learn about the monastery, and then they want to bring you into the monastery as a teacher. But you have to pick which house you want to be represented by,
Gryffindor.
It's just like that, dude. That's immediately what came to my mind.
Actually, I think I'm more of a Ravenclaw, really.
I don't know anything about any of them to be able to choose.
Have you never read the Harry Potter books?
I read one of the books and I've seen 3 of the movies.
Huh.
It just never...
It was a little after your time.
It didn't strike me. Yeah. The book that I read, the first book I read was Chamber of Secrets, and I read that in high school. Yeah. So it's been around for a while. The movies are relatively new in comparison, but yeah, it was out when I was in school. But yeah, it is kind of that way where you choose your house and where you're going to go. But you get to know the 3 house people, and I chose the Golden Deer, I think is what they're called. So it's like, you remember that old show on Nickelodeon, the game show, where they had like the purple monkeys.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes, dude. Oh man.
Of course I love that shit.
I love that show. I used to watch that.
I wanted to be on that show so bad when I was a kid.
Oh, me too. Any of those Nickelodeon game shows,
I wanted to be on that show. Not the slime one.
Oh, I was into the Double Dare. I was into...
It was too messy for me.
I was cool with it. I wanted to have that stuff drip on me. I always see people licking it off and stuff. It's like, that's gross.
I wonder what it tastes like.
I heard that it was like pudding.
I mean, I'm sure we could Google it.
Like I don't remember. I think it's pudding that's been dyed. But so these houses have names similar to what you would see in Legends of the Hidden Temple. One of them was the Eagles, and I don't remember what the other one was, but the leader of the Eagle house was this woman who was kind of like she's a little bit too stuck up her own ass, I guess. She seemed a little pompous, and
yeah,
I couldn't really get with her character very much. And the other character for the other house was like the same as her, just a male version. I was like, I don't want either one of those houses. Luckily for me, the deer had, I think his name is Claude, and this dude was like happy-go-lucky. Let's, who cares? This is just fucking school, man. We're just here to do our stuff.
Sure.
We're not gonna, if we win battles, great, but if we don't, whatever. I was like, I like you, Claude. I like you.
Yeah, so Claude was like a James Potter Patronus, but in a Hufflepuff class.
That would be funny if I knew who that was. And to top it all off, the dude uses a bow. Which always is rad. Go bow users. Anytime I play a game where a bow is an option, bow and arrow, I'm going to choose it.
Yeah.
So he had that going for him too. Luckily, I think I made a good choice because I really like all the people in that room or in that house with me. So the coolest thing about this game is the character development. This is the thing that I'm kind of grasping onto the most. You get to walk around the monastery and meet each of the characters from each of the houses, and you can kind of build relationships with whoever you want to, pretty much. And they all have very unique characteristics, and it's fun to get to know them. All the dialogue is voiced, so there's no reading. I mean, you can read it if you want to, but everything is voiced. That's so you can really kind of gauge who you like and who you don't like. And you're not just limited to the people in your house. Apparently later on in the game, and actually even at this point in the game where I am now, they have the option to recruit other people from other houses to your house. So if you go around and you find a character that you kind of really gravitate to and you like, you like their personality or whatever, maybe you like their fighting style, because you can also bring random people to your party once a month to use and see if you like them. They volunteer to be on your house for a little bit. So, and the reason why I say once a month is because this game has a calendar cycle.
Well, that's
and
cool.
You go through the calendar days, and on certain days you have classes. You can walk around the monastery. Other days you have class time where you give you teach basically, and when you walk around the monastery, you can go fishing. You can cultivate crops. You can take those crops, give them to the diner or the cafeteria to make food. You can, what else you can do? There's a lot of things you can do within the monastery to help build your characters. You're not only building their stats, you're also building your relationship with those characters because that can be beneficial to you in battle. So if you have a character that you've created a strong bond with, if you were to fight alongside them with an enemy, they might grant special boosts to your stats, or they may attack with you to double up the damage on the enemy.
Human shield perk.
Yes, yeah. I mean, things like that. It's really kind of cool, and it's all about building up these relationships. And games that do that and do it well are really stick out to me, because part of wanting to enjoy a game is wanting to feel immersed. If I can feel like I really truly understand the characters and want to, make sure that I take them to the end, I help them out with this situation, then it's cool to me. Like I grow an attachment to them. So the fact that there's so many characters that you can do that with, I think each house has like 7 characters within it, maybe more. Plus you can recruit more people later on down the road. So it's really good in that way. But then you have the option to do kind of training battles to level up your characters in that way to get ready for more extreme battles, because the battles do get tough. Like I said, it's one of those situations where if you make the wrong move, it means the difference between losing a character or not. They'll get killed off. The way I have it set up, they can come back in the next round. But if you lose a good, strong character in the middle of a battle, your chances of winning that battle are, get lower and lower. So, and these battles are kind of long. I mean, they're not short because it's a tactical based board game, more or less. They can last 20 minutes, for a long one, maybe longer. I don't know.
Sometimes I don't even sit down and play a game for 20 minutes.
It's one of those that if you were to sit down and play, you could probably do one battle and be done with it. And that's kind of how I've been playing it.
Yeah.
I've been doing one battle at a time or one walk through the monastery to do questing at a time. So it's been fun for me in that way. I think the most I put into that game in one sitting is maybe like 2 hours. So I'm generally a person.
I'm sure, honestly, as fun as it is, it's probably a relatively exhausting 2 hours, though.
It's not. It's kind of mindless. I mean, it's a lot of social activities with these characters within the game, mixed in with the battle system. That's really a lot of fun. Besides the tactical basis of the battle, you have an overhead view and you move your characters around. But whenever you go to attack them, it switches to like a full cinematic view where they run up and they slash them with the sword and everything. It looks really cool. The game has a very anime style. It's an anime straight up. So that's a turnoff to a lot of people. I know my brother specifically. I was talking to him about the game, and the fact that it's an anime was automatically a turnoff for him because he's just not into that. And there's a lot of people who aren't, and understandably so. Not everybody's into that style because they all have their certain tropes and everything that they follow that are just kind of hard to stomach if you're not into it. So, but if you can look past it and enjoy the game, you can. But I think even though this game has an anime-like style, it doesn't have those tropes. At least they're not as heavy as they are in some other games or anime. So I think it's easy to look past. To me, it looks like just a cartoon. It feels like I'm playing like real world kind of situations, kind of serious story thematics and things, but in a cartoon style, which I'm fine with. It doesn't bother me. As long as the character development and the gameplay is fun, I'll ride with it. And so far this game has been that. It's just been really a ton of fun. And I wish more people would open their eyes to it. And like you said, you were asking if you were to jump into the series, where would you go? I would highly recommend this one simply because of the fact that it has more than just the battles. The battles kind of take a second seat, or it's to the storyline and to the character development, which I think is really unique and cool. So I think if you ever had the opportunity to try it, I would. I don't know if you would enjoy it because it is kind of a niche type of game.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone, and I get that. But if you're willing to give it a shot, I think there's something there.
I think I'd be willing to give it a shot. I'm looking for something different.
The other thing is, this game can last you. This could be like your next. If you were to get into it, it could be like your next, Skyrim or something, because it's such a long game.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about it, but I've heard that this game's got, a good 100 hours worth of gameplay in it if you want. And I don't have a whole lot of time to give to it, but the control style and everything is good enough that I can come back to it off and on again.
Right.
And kind of gradually work my way through it and be fine with that. And
I'd be interested in giving it a go.
I think you should. I really do.
I'm trying to mix things up.
It's
Suck a toe.
Do you like the battle system from what I've described? Does that sound interesting to you at all?
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm a lot more open than I used to be.
Have you played a game like that? There's a lot like it. Final Fantasy Tactics is one that comes to my mind.
That may be that's the first one that came to my mind.
The Gaia series is kind of that way.
I don't think I've played any of those.
Advance Wars. Have you played that on the GBA?
No.
Okay.
I never had one of those.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
That seems like something you would have had.
I mean, I have one now.
Right.
I never had one as a kid. Like, I think the one that I have might be the one that my brother had that ended up in my care.
In your possession some sort of way.
So, Chase, I've got your Game Boy Advance if you're ever looking for it.
And you probably wouldn't have known that had you not just recently moved and packed it up.
Yeah, Malone found it and was like, what is this? Can I have it? And I was like, fuck, yeah.
And we do try to touch the screen. That's what kids do now.
No, actually, I've got enough little handheld systems around the house that he knows which ones he can't touch the screen. Like, that nothing happens if you touch the screen.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. I don't know if my kids would know the difference.
He's not so immersed in the touchscreen culture. I did try to zoom in on a magazine the other day with my fingers.
I have found myself doing that as well.
Like holding a newspaper and like, what's on that guy's hat? What? It is so fucking depressing.
It's nothing.
It's just it's a muscle memory. It's a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
But with those little systems, like I've got the little Sega Genesis handheld.
Right.
And then a couple of Game Boys. And
on that Genesis handheld, does it have a game called Shining Force on it?
I don't know. I'd have to check.
Shining Force is one of those strategy style RPGs.
Okay.
It's pretty
I'll check that out. I'll see if it does.
It's pretty well regarded too. One of the higher a lot of people like it.
Truth be told, I don't even think Malone realizes that the Switch has a touch feature.
I forgot that it has a touch feature.
I never
rarely
use it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't, and he doesn't play on phones or anything a whole lot.
Right.
So he's not like primed to expect a touch feature on things.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna finish things out with Fire Emblem. I'm still into it. I'm probably 6 to 8 hours somewhere in there in the game, and I've only done maybe 4 battles.
Wow.
The vast majority of my time has been spent walking the monastery and talking to people and questing and building up relationships, and I am enjoying the hell out of it, dude. I am surprised at how much I'm enjoying it. I would say it's in the veins of something like Persona, and I've heard people say this already, but it really is like Persona. Persona makes you live out the life day by day as this character in school. That's what this game kind of does, but it's week by week, day by day.
Day by day. I've never played the Persona games either.
Persona's great.
I mean, that type of stuff hasn't ever really been my go-to.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a lot of time, and it's hard to recommend those time-consuming games to people if they don't have the time to play it.
Right.
And I'm in that same boat too. I keep buying all these damn games that I know I'm gonna have to sink some time into.
I know I'm too busy for them.
I have an addiction, man.
That's
the only thing
do.
I can say.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a compulsion.
It's a compulsion. Like, even if I don't play it through the completion, I just want to experience a little bit of it just to say that I have and had some kind of opinion to form about it,
Yeah.
Rarely.
Like heroin.
If I was to try it, maybe.
And other hard drugs. I don't want to get hooked. I just want to try it once so I can say I did.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's just like hard drugs.
Well, I mean, video games are my hard drugs, man. That's all it amounts to.
And when you play online, it's like sharing a needle.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a problem. I know it is, but I can't even really justify it. It's a problem. But I do enjoy experiencing them, even if it's just for a little bit.
Right.
And if I want to go back to it, it's always nice to know that I can. Speaking of which, I have Metroid Zero Mission. That was a GBA game.
Yeah.
That's one I've been wanting to go back and try to play many times because it's kind of a remake of the original Metroid. And I love that game. It's one of my favorites. Sure. Yeah. So I've always wanted to go see where the similarities were. Well, the other day I popped that in. Well, I have it on my Wii U. So I started playing it again. And before you know it, dude, 2 hours had gone by. I'm like halfway through the game already. And I didn't want to put it down. It sucked me in and didn't let go. Those games are so fucking good, man. They are so good.
Preaching to the choir, dude.
What's the last? Have you played Metroid?
It's been years, but I do remember how addicting they are.
The first Metroid was addictive, yes, in its own kind of way, but I don't think it holds up well now. Super Metroid is the one that people are most fond of. And that's the one that I played. I didn't play it.
Even the first one, when you say it's addictive in its own way, but doesn't hold up now, it only needed to be addictive then,
right?
You know,
right?
Because at this point, even if you say it doesn't hold up now, it's all a nostalgia thing. Mm-hmm. It's just about regaining that feeling that you had when you played it. So an argument could be made that it does hold up now. You know, maybe if somebody played it for the first time now, it wouldn't. But that's not.
I think that's more what I'm referring to.
But that's not the people that are playing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know.
I mean, but it could be because I went back and played Zero Mission, even though that game is 15 years old. Or better.
That's fair. Okay.
And for my first time to play it too, and it sinks its hooks right into you, man, and just makes you keep wanting to go to that extra step. Oh, there's this room I just unlocked. I have to go back and look and see what's in there, and before you know it, I'm already doing that and then unlocking something else that I have to go explore. It's those styles of games that Castlevania, or what do you call it? Metroidvania.
Oh, yeah.
What they call it. Those games are so fun to me, man. That's why I'm waiting for them to patch Bloodstained so I can get back to that game. That game is so fucking broken on the Switch. I would love to go back and play it. But that's another one of those. Actually, I talked about it on last episode. I don't know if you know about it. It's a game from the people who made Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is one of my all-time favorite games. It's incredible.
You would have thought it'd be good.
Huh?
I said you would think it'd be good.
It is good. It's really good. It's just broken.
Yeah.
It's so buggy.
You would think it would be not broken.
Yeah. But whatever.
Not buggy.
Metroid Zero Mission is doing it for me. And dude, that game's short. I know it is. I feel like I'm already halfway through it. So I'm going to get through that and probably go jump straight into Fusions, which is the other GBA game that came out. And then probably finally go back to Super Metroid, since I've never played that one to completion. I think I got halfway through that game and then never went back to it.
Those are some lofty goals for somebody who just said, let's play through Borderlands.
Good point. You calling me out on my addiction here.
You make a lot of promises here.
I didn't say I was going to do it immediately, but I'll do it at some point in time.
Where can they find us?
jabgcast.com, jabgcast.com. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, at the same URL, I guess. At jabgcast.
Yeah.
We're also on Facebook. We are on YouTube if you would like to watch the video portion of the podcast.
The tubes.
And yeah, feel free to reach out to us on any platform if you have questions for us regarding a show, or if you have a topic of conversation you would like us to touch on. Let me know. We're open to any kind of discussion topics.
Absolutely.
That's a wrap, man.
I'm done talking.
All right. See y'all next time.